you to take ownership and know that, you know what, this is me, I'm doing it, and I have to conquer. So when I say it's character building, I'm saying that it's almost like a fire that you go through, yet you don't burn, you come out refined. You come out more bold, more confident, more determined. The mountains that we come across on this journey, the tears that we shed after failing tests or whatever it is, are truly something that leave you refined and equipped for any challenge that can ever come your way.
Yes, it really is wonderful to understand that in that journey you get character traits that you can apply anyway, in your personal relationships with people, in the working environment. It really is nice and very encouraging. I just want to understand from your point of view, what would you advise, say, somebody that is in BCTA, CTA, or even ITC? Somebody might be sitting and is nervous and saying, this is my last attempt of ITC. What would you advise such a person in terms of their preparations leading towards the examination and during the actual examination?
Okay. So besides the fact that you have to attend your classes and do all the mock exams running up until the exams, I think the most important thing that an individual has to master is confidence in themselves. So this thing begins on the inside. It begins on with yes, I failed test 1, yes, I failed test 2, yes, I only passed test 3, I just made it to the exam, but I will win, but I will conquer, but I am going to pass this. So that's the first thing that a person needs to realize, in a way, kind of like embedded into your head. In terms of exam preparation, like I said before, it's essential that you have an effective study plan. Timetables are very important. When you draw up a timetable, you don't put in there, today I'm doing accounting 1, or tomorrow I'm doing tax. No, you need to put in, I'm doing financial management today. I've got cost of capital, I've got investment appraisals, I've got whatever topic it is. You need to put it down so that there's something about writing something on paper or seeing it somewhere. You commit to it, so then you're able to measure your progression. One other thing that I say is very important, which I also utilize a lot, is asking questions. Use your lecturers to the last degree. If it means WhatsApping them, asking in class, don't leave a concept or a topic to the last minute. So what I used to do, I used to engage a lot in class. I would ask questions, and it was for my own benefit, because I was like, you know what, if I leave this place without understanding, and then I'm gonna go waste time at home trying to understand something. So already by engaging and asking questions, you're already saving yourself a whole lot of time, which you can now use to practice questions rather. And then lastly, for ITC in specifically, I think it's imperative that you bridge the gap between the technical knowledge and the broader thinking. A whole lot of practice is essential, and also just being more detailed and being more aware of the surroundings and things that are happening around you in terms of the finance world, obviously. And the last thing that people ignore, sleep, is very
Yes.
important. So yeah, sleep is very important. If you are tired, you're tired. Give your body a rest. But essentially, those are the main core things that I think are important.
Thank you for that, Anzani. You are still on your journey wanting to become a chartered accountant.
Yes.
Surely there is some value that you want to draw from it. What do you think, what do you believe the CASA designation next to your name is going to add into your life, maybe personally, but most importantly, professionally? What do you think this designation is going to open which doors?
So for me, the CSA designation, I mean, first of all, I can see it. It's right here. I can almost taste it. I think for me personally, the designation itself, at the end of the day, it's up to you what you do with it, right? But it is an amazing key to open relevant doors. I'm talking if you want to go international or national, this is the way to go. And for me, I still believe that it's very imperative to be in a room and for people to be able to listen to you. This designation allows you and gives you that platform where people will trust and they will rely on you. That means a seat at the table is always guaranteed for you. You will take up space, you will take up ownership. It's absolutely amazing. I mean, if you think about it now, even with this whole COVID-19 thing, chartered accountants are very much relevant, even more relevant than anything, if you ask me, because I feel like we've been prepared for this. We've been waiting for some economic slump so that we can kind of like bring it up again. But the CASA designation, at the end of the day, is up to you what you do with it, but it will give you an entrance to the door, which is what we all essentially want, to take up information, to be listened to, and to just be given a platform to do what you want to do.
Okay. I'm glad we are sharing this. I just want to involve the candidates and other guests that are with us today with their questions. So I'll be taking a couple of questions and then you will answer them as they come.
Okay.
Yes, let me check a few and then I will come back to you just now. Whilst we are still waiting on the questions that are still coming through, what do you think the chartered accountants are, the value that they add in their communities and their importance in the working environment? What do you think is that role?
So obviously, in terms of being a CSA, it's essentially almost really with being an auditor. Essentially, you are the public spokesperson. You are the person that says, you know what, I've checked this guy's books. He's not robbing you. So it's very a job which requires integrity, a job that requires ethical people, where you can boldly stand up and say, yes, I'm a chartered accountant. Yes, I do earn a lot of money, but yes, I am protecting the public at the end of the day. And for us as well, like I said, with COVID-19, this is, yes, it's a negative thing. Yes, a lot of things are kind of going awry, but this is also what we've been waiting for and what we've been prepared for all along. I mean, if you check out the last couple of ITC papers as well, the shifting and the thinking has changed. We are so much required to solve problems. It's no longer just a checklist tick box that we've done this and this and this, but it's more of, okay, you're a chartered accountant, help me solve this. So our role is very critical in the world, in the economy, in our communities at large. Yeah.
Yes. And for someone else that is out there, money, I don't think must be a motivation to want to become a chartered accountant. What other things are very inspirational to say, I want to become a chartered accountant? Just so to avoid people saying, we want to become chartered accountants because there is money. Yes, but now, well, what must drive a person to say, I want to become a chartered accountant?
I think you need to be passionate about who you are, right? Passionate about who you want to be. So essentially, for me, like I said, when I decided to go back and be a chartered accountant, I decided to do it because I want to be great. And when I say great, I'm not talking in terms of financial status. No, I'm talking about taking on a challenge, being able to conquer it, and being able to walk out there saying, you know what, I did that. I was able to do that particular thing. It's a very personal journey whereby I believe it's a basic need actually, that we all want to achieve something amazing. You know, kind of like reassure yourself and reaffirm yourself that, you know what, I actually am flipping amazing. So if you want to become a chartered accountant, you don't need to be doing it for money, obviously, but you need to be doing it for your own satisfaction, to say, I'm a winner. That's what I essentially believe at the end of the day. Because like it or not, this entire journey is difficult, guys. It's not an easy peasy kind of, I can just do this and get over it. If everyone could do it, then trust me, everyone would be able to do it. But the fact that you're going to commit yourself and run this journey, by the way, it's not a quick sprint. It's more of a journey whereby you're like, it doesn't matter that I'm not at the finish line first, but it matters that I finish this marathon, basically.
I just want to run at this one to you, to say it's difficult, it's challenging, and it might not be 7 years of studying and working to get the designation. Other people will take 10 years, other people will take 40 years, because there are challenges in between. What was your greatest challenge in your academics specifically? What was your greatest challenge, and how have you maneuvered around it to find a solution to work for you, and so that you can ensure that at the end of the day, you pass well and you are getting closer to being a chartered accountant? What was your greatest challenge in this journey?
So if you remember when I started, I told you guys about how in my third year, I didn't make it to CTA, right? Yes. So for me, that was a very big challenge. One that I think I really needed to go through, because like I said, my entire high school life and my first year, I was an overachiever. I mean, I made it onto Golden Key my first year. So honestly, I never thought I could not make it into something, kind of experience a delay or failure in essence. But I experienced that. And for me, what's greatest is the fact that, yes, I might not have immediately enrolled for CTA the next year, but even after years of being in a good job, I still came back and said, you know what, let me go back and finish what I started. Let me go back and finish what I want to do, which requires a whole lot of confidence. And it requires a whole lot of people saying to you, but why would you want to go back when you're so far off in your career? Yes. But you know your story and you know what you have to overcome. And then
Anzani? Anzani, are you still here?
Hi.
Yes.
Yes, I'm still here. I think I got cut stay for a second, yeah.
Yes, no, it's okay.
Yeah, so I think for me, the biggest challenge that I had to overcome was my own mind, my own thinking, my own perspective, to say, this is not the end of the road. You can still finish this journey. And like I said, it's not a race in terms of we're all going to finish in 7 years, who gets there first. It's essentially about all of us finishing the journey.
Yes. Whilst we're still waiting for questions, how important is getting support from maybe your friends, close family? How important is having that support role from people around you?
It's very important to have people around you that will support you, right? And I know that sometimes not all of us have people that actually understand what our journey is about. But then it's also important, for example, I actually had to cut out a whole lot of friends last year in particular, not cut them out, but to turn down certain social activities. Yes, because at the end of the day, they'll never truly understand what you're going through, and you're the only person who knows. So you need to determine what is important and how you're going to maneuver it. But I must admit, yes, it is important to have a great support system. But if you don't have a great support system, you are your own best support system. You need to support you first. So essentially, the decisions you will make will come from you supporting yourself first.
That is very understandable. Anzani, I just want to take a couple of questions for you. I have got one from Shilongi Msimeki. Shilongi is asking, where are you saving your articles currently? And was it hard to leave a well-paying job? That's if it was well-paying with a smaller salary. So those are these. Where are you saving currently? And was it very difficult for you to leave your well-paying job?
Okay, so I'm currently serving my articles at Deloitte. In terms of was it very, I think any job is pays a whole lot more than articles. But jokes aside, it was a decision that I made knowing very well what I'm getting myself into. But I actually really wanted the audit experience, which I believe was important for my own career path. But yeah, it was difficult. It was a challenge, but that is why you need to plan and pre-plan everything in time so that when the time comes, everything comes together.
Okay, that is perfect. I've got another one from the same Shilongi Msimegi. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Wow, that's such an interview question. Where do I see myself in 5 years? Honestly speaking, to Shilongi, right? I see myself having built a brand. So when I set my on the first day when I go to Deloitte, actually, I told myself that I'm here to work, but I'm also here to build a brand. Building a brand and building a network. The people around you are the guys that you're going to need going into the future. And in terms of my career, my interests are in taxation and investments. So in that line of work, I'm considering getting a CFA. I'm not yet sure yet. But then one thing for sure is that as time goes on, I would like to branch out and start something of my own.
Okay, no, that is wonderful. I also have another one from Muyabo Sharon. She is asking, did you experience setbacks, like for instance, where you felt like you don't know anything, especially when you treat questions? How did you manage that?
So yes, I experienced setback in terms of last year, my worst module was auditing, actually. My auditing was horrible. So everything else I would pass amazingly well. But then when it comes to auditing it, I just couldn't understand the module. I just couldn't understand how to get the picture together. So what I did to solve that, obviously, I dedicated my time quite a lot into auditing, which actually paid off because the ITC Jan 2020 paper felt like it was an entire auditing session or an auditing marathon. But the best way to overcome any difficulties is to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, I don't get this thing. Why don't I get it? And then you determine, okay, I don't get it because of this. Maybe I don't know how to apply it, or maybe I just don't understand it at all. Then you can go back to your lecturer and be like, okay, this is my problem. If you identify your problem, it's easier for the lecturer to then meet you halfway and be like, oh, okay, no, actually, it's not that you don't understand it. It's just that when you apply it, you're applying it incorrectly. Like you're completely going south, actually. But yes, I did experience setbacks. Auditing was quite a challenge. My lecturers know about it, but then, yeah, at the end of the day, I came through with it.
Yes, this one comes from me.
Okay.
If you are sitting in an exam and you think that, but what is going on here? I've never seen this before. What do I do? What must I do? I've never seen this thing before. how do I go around about it? Because I cannot leave the questions, I must try something. What must I do?
Okay, that is why it's so important to know and understand your principles. So questions like that are always going to come. In every test, in every exam, will always be a question you're like, what in the world is this? You don't even know, especially with ITC papers, you don't even know which topic they are asking anymore because it all looks the same. You need to take a breather, right? Calm down, trust yourself. Like I said, confidence is key. Perspective, guys, confidence is key. You need to trust yourself and trust your knowledge. Take a breather and go back to your principles. So one thing that I learned last year from the lecturers, also when you mark your papers as well, 50% is guaranteed if you stick to your principles. Anything above that, you would need to be a genius or whatever. But if you stick to your principles, you will be fine. Sometimes we ponder on something so small that you don't understand, where else if you just stuck to your principles, you're going to be fine. You need a 50, not 100. Principles, yes. I think that's important.
That was coming from me. I have got another one coming from Kuliso. She, the candidate is asking, how do you keep yourself motivated?
I think earlier, did I speak about like a vision board, like vision? You need to see yourself tomorrow, not today. So you need to see where you want to go. You need to start believing and acting and living like you're already there, even though you're not there. That's how you keep motivated. You need to tell yourself that you are great, you're amazing, you're a winner, you've conquered. There's nothing that can keep you down. That is very important. That's why I say this journey is your journey. Everyone else is there to support, but at the end of the day, it all sits on your head. So you owe it to yourself to be great. You owe it to yourself to be amazing. Once you tell yourself that, you will always remain motivated, no matter what happens. I mean, guys, I went back to school while I was already way ahead in my career. But you need to keep yourself motivated to say, I will do this, I am doing this, and there's nothing else that's going to happen besides me coming out with a positive result.
All right. Thank you, Anzani. That was the last question that we have. And I wish personally we can continue to have this conversation, but due to time, I just want to appreciate you. And I hope that every one of us are going to stay grounded, motivated. I'm personally inspired by young women working hard and also young men working hard. I believe that we are learning a lot from you, and we are going to draw motivation as we go ahead. That is for tonight, and I hope that you also join us for the next session. Thank you, everyone. Have a lovely evening.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.